you become a better, more peaceful person, but you're still a person. And that's you know what I mean? Like, there are many spiritual people who feel, oh, I'm spiritual and I'm special. I'm doing something special for the world, and I'm a spiritual ego. I'm a divine mother, I'm a divine father, I'm a sage, I'm a spiritual teacher, whatever your label is for yourself. A spiritual ego, so you're still a person who's doing something spiritual, and now you're just special because you are spiritual, right? That idea. That is an ego with an identity of still a personhood. So the next step beyond transforming the energy into sattvic, into meditative, is now to clear out the idea of a you. The idea of a center point of me in a body, on a planet, in a mind. You see? This is going the next step. Many people don't take that next step of, in a way, deleting yourself, dissolving yourself. And so that's why some of my gatherings are really focused on just dissolving the ego. Because you have to work on part of that too. Otherwise, it'll still be person consciousness. So you could have quite a sattvic energy, but then you'll get incarnated into another human body again, because the mind still is associated with identity of body. And that's why we keep getting the bodies, because we don't believe that we are the infinite eternal consciousness. We believe we're still stuck in a location and in an entity, an individuality. So that's why sometimes I'll talk a little bit to blow your mind, to blow your ego, to let your ego blow a fuse, right? Where it starts to be like, oh, and what I call it is a crack in the mind. The mind cracks, everything becomes still, and then you can't find yourself. In that second where, let's say, Josh is lost, there's no Josh there. Josh disappears for a moment, and it's like body could be moving around, but there's no Josh there. There would be no one to refer even to the Josh. So I'm just talking about Josh, but I'm talking about you or anyone, right? Like, that concept of the me gets destroyed. And then you are a divine presence instead of an individual presence. That's the leap. There are some few characters that have reached that. And you know the story of the Buddha. The Buddha made the leap of the chasm of difference between being an individual versus being infinite consciousness. When I mean chasm, I mean many people strive for meditation and get so far and yet haven't completely dissolved themselves to get to the other side, so to speak. That's why all the angels threw flowers down on Buddha when he dissolved himself and he became a true Buddha, true pure consciousness. Because it was so extraordinary. The fact that he made it, he leaped over that and disappeared and dissolved. And then when in that state of absolute pure freedom, then people came to be in the presence of so-called God. They wouldn't call it back then, the Buddhists wouldn't call him as God, but he was a manifestation of God, manifestation of the divine, some say a manifestation of Vishnu. So he is our shining guide to that state. And you may think, oh, it's impossible to delete the I or to delete the individual. Buddha did it, so you can as well, and anyone can.